Hey campers, George here, back in the man cave. Yeah, I'm looking at another sharp and shiny. This one, a little different for me. This guy here, look at that. Very nice. For MIGURON, a really good looking knife, just not made for my grubbies. Let's check it out. So this is the guy here. It caught my attention as soon as I saw it. Look at this guy. It's very, very cool looking. And this is the AKRI, AKRI, that, for MIGURON, knife manufacturers. Never seen these guys before and came across them and thought, let me have a look, see what they got. And I saw this guy. And let me tell you, it's a looker. Look at this guy. All black. Very cool, very sleek. I really like the look of this knife. Like I said, unfortunately, my grubbies are not made for this kind of knife. Here's why. I've seen and heard and read about a lot of knives that they call front flipper. And I was like, they all flip out the front. Well, you have a finger flipper and a front flipper. And if you look at this knife here, the flip is that right there. Can you see that? It's very small. It's off to the left of the knife there, well, actually towards the bottom of the handle in the front. And basically, you use your thumb to flip it out. Now, this is not a small knife, okay? You can see it in my hand there. It pops out both sides. The problem I have is with my, for one, I'm all palm and stubby little fingers. My grubby is not designed for a knife this size as a front flipper, I'm assuming. I have never looked at a front flipper before. And I got it and I was like, okay, it opened. Yeah, kind of. And it took some practice where I had to really flip it to get it open. And simply because the way I hold a knife and with my hands, my thumb don't work that great. Now, having said that, let me tell you about this knife. This is a thing of beauty. So like I said, this guy is made by, I believe it's pronounced MIGURON, MIGURON knives. And like I said, I never really heard of them before until I came across them and had a look at what they got. You can't flip past this knife. It is a good-looking, solid, folding knife. It is so well made, clean, smooth. It just looks really nice. And it is a liner lock. And it's kind of hard to see because everything's black. Let me try and get it there. You can see the liner locking it there. Let me try. I'm trying my hardest to get used to this front flick. You can just drop it down there and close it one hand. It does have a slight hesitation on the drop. So when you get it open like that and you want to close it, when I release the liner lock, it'll drop. Okay. Now, you can see it dropped right onto my thumb now, which is not a good thing. And I'm not sure if that's how it's meant to work, because if I open this guy now, I'm going to release it and show you what I mean. Right there. Look at that. Okay. It does have a stop. So when you release it, it drops down there. For me, though, every now and again, I'll release it and it does that. And I think it just needs to be adjusted. It's not a problem with the knife. I think I just need to tighten it a bit so that the detent in it actually stops it from dropping. It is designed that anyway. I think I just need to adjust it. So no problems there, not something you can't fix. Yeah, you can see it does have a pocket clip, and oh, that thing is stiff, and look how high up it sits. So it's a real deep pocket sit in this job, and it is tip up. You can see there. You cannot move the clip to the other side. You know, that's not unusual. You see a lot of knives don't have that. Let's have a look at some of the actual specs of this knife. So it is a G10 handle, and you can see it's got a little bit of dippling on it. Let me see if I can show you that. But it's still pretty smooth, but it does give a little bit of grip. And then the overall length of this, from the tip to the butt, 8 1/8 inch long. It's a long one, and you can see it in my hand here. The blade length, I believe, is 3.5 inches. And measuring it, yeah, I'm going to go there. It's from the tip to the choil, which I believe to be the correct measurement, because you're really interested in the working edge of the blade, not to the handle. So 3.5 inch working edge on it. Very nice. 14 C28N blade material, stainless steel. Yeah. Has a fairly good edge on it, a nice clean edge. You can see it there. It's pretty consistent, and it comes to a very nice point on it there. Obviously black. Everything is black on this thing. The only parts that are shiny are where you need them to be, and right there and on the tip. The blade shape is actually, it's hard to show you this. It is a hollow grind drop point blade. So you can see it there. Just the color gets me on this. And then, of course, right here on the pivot is their logo, MIGURON, I believe is the correct pronunciation. It is made in China, which these days to me, just, you know, with all the knives coming out of China right now, their quality has improved so much. And if you look at the workmanship on this, it is very, very clean. It's the first thing I noticed about this knife. You know, at first I thought, well, maybe it's because it's all black. You can't see that stuff. But I had a real close look at it. And yeah, it's clean. And if you look carefully, that blade sits dead center. So it's well set up. A very nice knife. Unfortunately for me, I think if it was, maybe if the handle was a little bit smaller for me, it would work. And then, of course, you'd have to reduce the blade. But still, this is a very nice knife. If you can handle a front flipper easily, this is a nice knife. I'm really, really impressed with this knife. So, the handle length is 4.6 inches, I believe. Yeah, 4.6 inches from the front to the back. And like I said, it does have that pocket clip, which is pretty sturdy. I'm going to put it in my pocket and see how deep it sits. And it is tip up. Here you can see it in my pocket. Now, it does go deep. The problem is, it is so tight in there. If you look, it's open and then goes really tight down to there. It's really, really tight in there. It does have kind of sort of a lanyard hole there. These lanyard holes are getting smaller on all these knives, and it is a folder, so I suppose it has to be small. I don't really see a reason to have one when you have a pocket clip on it. It's got some weight to it. I believe it's 120 grams. What that is in ounces, yeah, you're going to have to figure that out. I can't. Not off the top of my head. I've just got to get more work in on that front flip, because I kind of like that idea. I think the detent, and you can see there, it worked just fine. You can do it one-handed. It just needs some slight adjustment. I left my toolbox in the South 40 workshop, so too lazy to go and get it. Shame on you, George. Blade thickness on this is 0.12 of an inch. And it's a pretty good blade. It's pretty wide. You can see there it's got a, and it comes down to a very fine point. Just well made, I have to say that. The issues I'm having with this, for me, are more personal. My grubbies, I've always struggled with them. I don't have a normal, everyday grubby. So when I find a knife that fits, I get pretty excited. But I like this knife, and even though it's a little big for me, I'd be hard-pressed to give this up. The other thing is the Rockwell hardness on this is 58 to 59. It's up there, so it's pretty solid. I wonder how sharp it is. Do you have a piece of paper? You know, I've got a piece of paper here somewhere. Let's see how we do here. And it looks like it does okay. No problem there. Should we see if we can bend it? I've got to get this. I mean, it cuts. You can see there, and it's a very clean cut. And if you look carefully, what about some wood? I hate to cut this with the wood, but here you can see it's cutting it. No problem there. So, ready, catch, missed. Very nice. Now let's see if it'll cut the paper again. Yeah. Like I said, these guys have done a good job on this knife. And if you look here, this is the box it comes in. And it's a nice plain box, nothing fancy on it. They do have all the links where you can find them. You know, I've only got good things to say about this knife. And they do have a couple of different kinds that when I did a search on YouTube, I found a couple of reviews, not on this particular knife, but on some other ones that they have as well that I might want to have a look at myself. So you can see how well that. It's a good looking knife. This is a step out EDC. When you're wearing your tux, you better have this in your pocket. And here it is here. And how much did I pay for this? Are you sitting down? Yeah. That much. Yeah, that put a dent in my budget, but it so impressed me just in the pictures, I thought I'd better get it. And you know what? I believe it's worth it. Well worth it. I mean, that's way more than my budget for a folder. You know me, I'm a budget knife guy. And, you know, this is still in the budget range when you compare it to some of the other stuff out there. What can I say? Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be back again with another sharp and shiny. You know, I still got to get through all them Smith & Wesson stuff. And I have one coming up, a folder. I think I'll do a short first on it, and then I'll do a full review. It's a beast. Just saying. And you all be safe out there. Especially with, you know what I'm going to say, these guys, sharp and shinies. Thanks for watching. Take care now.